Before we dive into this AI tool comparison that will provide clear insights, make sure to subscribe to the channel as we upload new tool comparison podcasts every day.
All right, so it looks like we're diving into the world of video conferencing today, figuring out which platform is going to come out on top in 2024, Google Meet or Zoom.
Yeah, it's really interesting how video conferencing has totally transformed from just, seeing someone's face on a screen. It's all about productivity now.
For sure. And you want to make sure you're picking the right tool right.
Right.
You don't want to waste time with something that's not going to help us be productive.
Exactly.
And for this deep dive, we've got this awesome comparison article from someone who's actually used both Google Meet and Zoom extensively.
Oh, that's great.
So we're getting real world experience here, no marketing hype.
Perfect.
Let's jump in and see what they discovered.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, so first things first, big picture. Google Meet and Zoom, both solid platforms, but they seem to cater to slightly different needs.
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head. It's not a one-size-fits-all situation.
Right.
Google Meet shines when it comes to simplicity, and it's deeply integrated with Google Workspace.
That makes sense. So if your team's already using Gmail Docs, Calendar, all that jazz.
Exactly. It just flows naturally.
All right there.
It's already part of your workflow.
Yeah.
And then you've got Zoom, which is known for its advanced features and customization options.
Right. So like breakout rooms and webinars.
And all those fun virtual backgrounds. Some people love them, some people hate them.
It's true. You got to have a good one. Or it can be really distracting.
For sure.
Okay. So let's say you're planning a big meeting, a huge event.
How do they compare in terms of how many people you can get in there?
Right. Like what's the user capacity?
So if you need to host a really large group, Zoom is the clear winner here.
Really?
With their large meeting add-on, you can get up to 1,000 participants.
1,000. Wow.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Google Meet, on the other hand, caps out at 250.
Yeah.
Which is still respectable for most situations.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
But if you're thinking company-wide town hall or massive conference,
Yeah, Zoom's going to be your go-to.
Zoom's got you covered. Okay, so thinking beyond just the meeting itself, how do these platforms integrate with the other tools we use every day?
Yeah.
You
the whole ecosystem, right?
Right, like integrations.
Yeah.
How do they stack up?
Well, we already talked about how Google Meet is super tightly integrated with Google Workspace.
Right, like scheduling a meeting straight from your Google Calendar.
Oh, right there.
Or sharing a doc and everyone can edit it live during the call.
So seamless.
Such a time saver.
Oh, for sure.
Okay, but Zoom has its own tricks up its sleeve.
They do. They've got this massive app marketplace.
Really?
Over 1,500 integrations.
Wow, that's a lot.
Like connecting to everything from Slack for team communication to Salesforce for CRM.
So it's like a choose your own adventure of integrations. You can customize it to your heart's content.
Exactly.
But that also sounds a little overwhelming.
It could be. It depends on how many apps you're already using and how deep you want to go with those integrations.
Because you don't want to end up with this tangled web of apps that just makes things more complicated.
Yeah, you want to streamline things, not create more chaos.
Exactly. Okay, so let's shift gears and talk about something that's on everyone's mind these days, security.
Huge.
What have these platforms done to protect our data and privacy?
Well, both platforms have really stepped up their security game in recent years.
That's good to hear.
Yeah, so Google Meet leans on Google's already super strong security infrastructure.
Right, because Google's got a good track record with that.
Exactly. They've got end-to-end encryption, two-factor authentication, automatic meeting passwords to keep out those unwanted guests.
So multiple layers of protection.
Yeah.
That's reassuring.
And Zoom, to their credit, they've also made some big improvements to their security.
Okay.
They've implemented end-to-end encryption as well.
Nice.
And added features like waiting rooms, where the host can kind of screen participants before letting them in.
Oh, like a virtual bouncer?
Exactly. And they've got meeting lock, so once the meeting starts, nobody else can join.
That's a good idea.
So both platforms are taking security pretty seriously, which is what we want to see.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so we've talked about the basics now. Let's get into those in-meeting features that help teams collaborate effectively.
Right, the collaboration showdown.
Yeah. How do Google Meet and Zoom compare in that department?
So Zoom is the champ when it comes to interactive collaboration features.
Interesting. Tell me more.
They've got this interactive whiteboard where everyone can visually brainstorm together.
Cool.
And they allow simultaneous screen sharing so multiple people can present at the same time.
Oh, that's handy.
Yeah. And of course, those breakout rooms we talked about earlier, those are great for dividing a large group into smaller teams for more focused discussions.
So it sounds like Zoom is really geared towards those highly interactive sessions.
It is those brainstorming workshops, training sessions where you need that visual element and that real-time collaboration.
Awesome. What about Google Meet? Does it have similar features?
Google Meet is a little more streamlined.
Okay.
So you've got basic screen sharing capabilities.
Like sharing your whole screen or just a specific window.
Or even just a Chrome tab.
Indeed.
And the big plus is the seamless integration with Google Docs.
Right. So you can co-edit documents in real time.
Exactly.
So it's each platform has its own strengths.
Right.
Google Meet for straightforward collaboration, especially if you're already living in the Google Docs world.
Yeah.
And Zoom for those more visually engaging interactive sessions.
Exactly.
Okay, so this might seem like a basic question, but it's important. Platform compatibility.
Oh, yeah. In today's world, we've got to be able to join meetings from anywhere.
Right. Can I join from my phone, my laptop, even my grandma's old desktop?
Ideally, yes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So Google Meet really prioritizes convenience here.
They do. You can join a meeting directly in your browser.
No downloads, no installation.
Nope, just click the link and you're in.
That is so convenient.
It is, especially when you're on the go or using a device that doesn't have the app.
Yeah, if you're at a coffee shop and you need to jump into a quick meeting.
Exactly.
Super handy.
Zoom, on the other hand, they offer dedicated desktop apps for Windows, macOS, Linux.
Right.
And they have mobile apps for iOS and Android.
Okay.
They say that the apps provide a more stable and feature-rich experience.
Which makes sense.
Yeah.
So it's like a trade-off. Google Meet for ultimate convenience.
Yeah.
Zoom for a potentially smoother, more robust experience.
But you have to take that extra step to download and install the app.
Right, you got to weigh your priorities.
Exactly.
Okay, let's talk about another crucial feature: recording and transcription.
Oh, yes. Got to be able to capture those meeting insights.
Especially those long meetings. Sometimes you need to go back and review things or share the content with people who couldn't attend.
Absolutely.
So which platform makes that easier?
If you're all about convenience, Zoom is the winner here.
Really? How so?
They've got automatic transcription for recorded meetings.
Oh, wow.
Game changer.
No more spending hours listening back and taking notes.
Exactly. It's like having a personal assistant take notes for you.
That's amazing. What about Google Meet?
You can record Google Meet meetings straight to Google Drive,
Okay.
which is great for storage and sharing,
Yeah.
but you'll have to handle the transcription yourself.
Okay, so another point for Zoom in the convenience department.
Yeah, they've really streamlined that aspect of video conferencing.
Okay, final question. We've run into a problem. Who do we call for help customer support?
Ah, yes, when tech gremlins strike.
Exactly. You need to know that someone's got your back.
Zoom offers 24/7 support for all their paid plans.
24/7? That's awesome.
Yeah, so if you've got an issue right before a big meeting, you can get help right away.
That's peace of mind.
They offer phone support, live chat, and a ton of online resources.
Okay, so they've got all the bases covered.
They do. What about Google Meet?
Yeah, what's their support like?
Google Meet offers support through Google Workspace,
Okay.
which is generally pretty reliable, but it might not be as readily available for those urgent situations.
So you might have to wait a bit longer to get a response.
That's-
Okay, so another advantage for Zoom when it comes to having your back in those critical moments.
Yeah, it seems like they've really invested in building a strong support system.
Okay, so we've heard a lot about the pros and cons of each platform.
We have.
But now the million-dollar question, our expert user who's experienced both, what's their final verdict?
And here's the interesting part.
Yeah.
They actually use both.
Really?
They do.
Huh, I wouldn't have expected that.
It seems counterintuitive, right?
It does. Why use both when it seems like one might be quote-unquote better than the other?
Right. Well, they found that each platform has its own strengths and weaknesses.
Okay.
And the best choice really depends on the specific situation.
I see. So it's not about picking one winner.
Nope.
It's about having the right tool for the right job.
Exactly. They've developed this kind of strategic approach to using both Google Meet and Zoom.
I'm really curious to hear more about that.
Yeah, let's dive into their dual platform strategy.
Let's do it. When do they choose Google Meet and when do they go for Zoom?
Well, before we get into their strategy, let's talk about pricing first.
Okay, good point. Got to factor that in.
Both platforms have different pricing structures, so that's something to consider.
Right, because not every team needs all the bells and whistles.
Exactly.
All right, let's talk pricing then.
So with pricing, both Google Meet and Zoom have a range of options, to cater to different budgets and needs.
That's good to hear because not everyone needs the most expensive plan, right?
Exactly. You want to choose the plan that fits what you need.
Right.
So Google Meet actually offers a free plan.
Oh, a free plan? What's the catch?
Well, there are some limitations, of course.
Right.
On the free plan, you can have meetings with up to 100 participants.
That's pretty generous for a free plan.
It is, but the meetings can only be 60 minutes long.
Okay, so good for like quick team check-ins or brainstorming sessions.
Exactly, as long as you can keep it under an hour.
Right.
But probably not ideal for those really in-depth strategic planning meetings that could go on for hours.
Right, those ones that just keep going and going.
Yeah, exactly. So if you need longer meeting times or more features, Google offers paid plans through Google Workspace.
Right, which is like the whole suite of Google apps, right?
Yeah, exactly. Gmail, Docs, Calendar, all that good stuff.
So you're basically getting Google Meet bundled with all those other tools.
Exactly. And the paid plan